Harvey Weinstein, speaking out about the allegations against him brought by dozens of accusers. Weinstein unloading to the New York Post about all he's done to help women professionally.
Some people believe that the workers who produce these sneakers here in Indonesia are paid a good wage. Some people say a great wage. The founder and chairman of Nike, Phil Knight, has gone as far to say that workers are absolutely paid a living wage.
And Foxconn admits managers have been known to abuse workers if they make mistakes or miss deadlines. What we can and must change is the rude attitude some managers have towards our workers.
Brands and businesses are known to lie and do shady things in return for some more money. Rather than feel sympathetic or bad that they've possibly put someone else or multiple people in a compromising situation, they say it's just business. Unfortunately, this "it's just business" mentality has led to tons of brands and companies growing tenfold while others struggle to get by. Today we're talking businesses with shady pasts. What's happening, guys? Welcome back to InformOverload. I'm your host, Jared Bronstein, and today we'll be counting down the top 10 brands that have scary pasts you need to know. Make sure to stick around until the end for some common replies and bloopers, and be sure to subscribe and click that bell as well. Alright, so let's get into counting, shall we? I won't lie, some of the brands on here really surprised me, and I'm sure they'll surprise you too. Fortunately, not for the best reasons. So starting us off at number 10, Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola seeks out coca leaves with the active cocaine removed. Using spent leaves, Coca-Cola can still keep their flavor as close to the original as possible.
Now, contrary to popular belief, the company didn't pour copious amounts of drugs into their drinks. However, it was determined back in 1885 that Coca-Cola got its name from the two medical ingredients in Coke at the time, and I say medical, coca leaves and cola nuts. Although they didn't necessarily cut the final product and place that into their addictive sugary drink, they did use the ingredients which come from cocoa leaves. What's even crazier, after this was revealed, the owners of Coke still kept using the ingredients out of fear that they would lose the brand's name. Without a patent on the syrup, the owners figured if they kept using the products, they would have the rights to the name, which is really what turned them into the giants they would become. Still doesn't make it okay that they're putting that stuff in their drinks and then selling it to kids and adults all over the world. Next on our list at number 9, we got BMW. For those of you that don't know, BMW not only supplied Nazis with airplane and motorcycle parts during World War II, but even used slaves for labor. Not only were the original owners of BMW very friendly with Adolf Hitler, but they actually profited off of the Holocaust as well. Of course, the company has since released statements regarding their regret back in 2016, when they released a statement which included, I quote, "As demand for BMW aero engines increased, forced laborers, convicts, and prisoners from concentration camps were recruited to assist with manufacturing them. To this day, the enormous suffering this caused and the fate of many forced laborers remains a matter of the most profound regret." End quote. Moving on to the number 8 spot, Apple. Now, it's more so the company that manufactures the iPhone, among other reputable brands electronics such as HP and Dell, called Foxconn. Foxconn has been exposed for overworking and underpaying their employees, and has been referred to as a labor camp in the past. Their employees were also known for having incredibly high suicide rates, so the company decided to put nets around their building to stop people from jumping. A more specific example would be 25-year-old Sun Danyong, who after losing an iPhone prototype, claimed to be beaten by Foxconn security and had his house searched. Following the incident, Danyong would jump from his 12th floor apartment building, ending his life. And unfortunately, he was just one of the many that did that. And at number 7, we got Chick-fil-A. Now, you probably already know about the company's past, more specifically their charitable donations. But for those of you unaware, Chick-fil-A received a ton of backlash after it was revealed their charity, the Chick-fil-A Foundation, donated upwards of $1.8 million to 3 organizations with anti-LGBTQ views and beliefs. Since the news came out, many were quick to boycott the franchise or stop purchasing their delicious chicken. However, as recently as November of 2019, the company said they would be putting aside $9 million for donations that focus on the following 3 initiatives: promoting youth education, combating youth homelessness, and fighting hunger. So, I mean, at least that's like a win. Positive little change there. Moving into number 6, Nike. Now, it's no secret Nike has come under a lot of heat in the past for using underage workers in what's been referred to as sweatshops to minimize costs and maximize profits. This first came to light in the 1970s when Nike moved their production from Taiwan and Korea after wages grew and moved it all to Indonesia, China, and Vietnam, where it was cheaper to produce. After an investigation, it was revealed some workers were making as little as 14 cents per hour. However, in 2005, Nike became one of the first brands to be completely transparent about which factories they use overseas, not hiding anything from anyone, and vouching to raise wages and improve work conditions. At number 5, Taco Bell.
Once upon a time, before Taco Bell existed, there was a young man named Glenn Bell who grew up in Southern California and loved Mexican food. But in the 1940s, most Americans were eating at the latest burger and hot dog joints that were popular at the time.
Now, this one isn't necessarily a scary past per se, but I felt it still had to be on this list because it's just a slimy story. Creator of the franchise, Glenn Bell, originally wanted to sell hot dogs, which he did. Then he expanded his shop to sell hamburgers and eventually tacos. However, back then, Bell would use soft tacos and then fry them on the spot. It took a while, so he needed a new plan. So Bell decided to check out his competition, who sold only tacos, already pre-fried. He became close with the kitchen staff staff befriended a handful of the workers and eventually got his way into their kitchen, only to find out how they made their tacos. It was all part of a grand scheme, I guess you could say. Bell then created a franchise of stores using a stolen recipe and ended up selling his business to Pepsi for $125 million. The restaurant he stole from is Milta Cafe, which is apparently still open, yet Bell never credited them for his success. Moving into the number 4 slot, the Washington Times. Some backstory here: back in the 70s in the US, a religious movement was making waves. The Unification Church, also known as Moonies, named after church founder Sun Myung Moon, was definitely interesting to say the least. More specifically, Moon was considered to be a cult leader by many in European countries, and it's probably because he said things like, I quote, "The whole world is in my hand and I will conquer and subjugate the world," end quote. Moon's goal was to spread his vision and word, and decided to start businesses by doing so. From hotels to selling teas and guns, this guy apparently did it all. He even started a newspaper, the Washington Times, in 1982. It's believed he invested billions of dollars and allegedly said the paper would be, I quote, "the instrument in spreading the truth about God to the world." Moving on to number 3, we got Bayer Pharmaceuticals. As late as 1912, Bayer was still promoting liquid heroin to children as a cough suppressant or cold reliever. Of course, it was a different time. We don't know what we do know now, but still, in 1899, patients were allegedly building a tolerance to the medicine, and people in the US were actually asking for more even after they felt their cold symptoms go away. More specifically, ads from the early 1900s claim the miracle medicine will cure bronchitis, among other illness. In 1914, the narcotic was restricted to prescription use only, before eventually being banned altogether in 1924, with a few medical exceptions. At number 2, we got the Weinstein Company. Now, I'm sure you guys know all about Harvey Weinstein and his disgusting, despicable behavior, but if you don't, I'm here to shred the pig to bacon bits. See what I did there? You get it? So the Weinstein Company was created by brothers Harvey and Bob Weinstein. Although Bob seems to have done nothing other than create some of the greatest films of all time, his brother, Harvey, is the walking devil. In October 2017, the New York Times published a story depicting decades of allegations against Weinstein, which included non-consensual intimacy, among other gross things. As the years have passed, more and more stories have come out regarding Harvey, and as recently as today, while I record this video, another woman has come out saying she was abused by Harvey when she was just 16 years old. There's a special place in hell for guys like him. And finally, in at number 1, Nestle. Probably the biggest company in the world, if not one of them. Nestle owns pretty much everything. From chocolates like Kit Kat and Aero bars to dog food to, of course, their water brand. It seems like they're all over the place. Nestle, however, also owns or has stakes in brands like Nespresso, L'Oreal, Giorgio Armani, Ralph Lauren, Powerbar, Perrier, and many other brands. Unfortunately, their history isn't as impressive. According to the BBC, Nestle used European Jewish slaves for labor during the Holocaust. In 2000, the company paid a settlement of $14.6 million to Holocaust survivors and Jewish organizations, and released a statement reading, "It is either certain or it may be assumed that some corporations of the Nestle Group that were active in countries controlled by the National Socialist Nazi regime employed forced laborers." And there you guys have it for the top 10 brands that have scary pasts you need to know. Let me know which you think has the worst past and why in the comments down below. I'll be honest, they're all pretty terrible. But for now, let's reply to some comments from the video. Greta Thunberg called out for lying. Gabrielle Opera said, "Hello from Romania." Hello from Canada. That's all I really got for you. Sorry, but appreciate your hello. I Am Marie said she sat on the floor for 2 train rides, then on first class for the last. She didn't really lie, she just left out information. Okay? Hypothetical here for you. You have a boyfriend, goes out to the club, meets a girl, spends the night with her, comes home the next morning. You say, "Hey, how was your night? What'd you do?" He goes, "Just went out with the guys, had a few drinks." Is he lying to you? Or is he just leaving out parts of the truth? I'm gonna say he's a liar. Eyeliner Tear said, "I got the ad about her saying she stopped flying on this." Well, that's a ironic ad to play before this video, but not this one, obviously the one about her not flying. You guys get it. Anyways, guys, that's it for this one. I've been your host, Jared Bronstein. I hope you guys enjoyed this top 10 list. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments below if you guys want a part 2, part 3, part 17. I don't know. I'm sure lots of brands out there have horrible pasts, so it shouldn't be too hard. Anyways, guys, wishing you a very, very happy holiday season and happy new year, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Check out these bloopers. I won't lie, dude. I just let a couple rip. You think the microphone's gonna pick it up?
I hope so.
I don't think so.
I can smell it.
Yeah, can you guys smell that? Can you guys smell that on camera? I was trying to make them like quiet farts, and then I was like, whatever. Just admitted to it on camera, so. But even used slaves to help build their labor. That doesn't make sense. And vouching to raise. Do I have to wait for that? In 2000, the company paid a settlement of $14.6 million to. Was it million or billion? No, it was million.